Hello.
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 Hi, guys. Welcome back to the We Just Quit Our Jobs podcast. I'm your host, Ted Zeth. I'm back, and this is the other host,
Greg Puffman, from the Tip Blast episode that we recently did that Ted was not a part of. Hello, everyone. Welcome to We Just Quit Our Jobs, the weekly podcast where we bring you the tips, tricks, and strategies that you need to quit your job and start a lifestyle business. And as always, we love your feedback, so please feel free to send us emails with constructive comments at wejustquitourjobs@gmail.com. That's wejustquitourjobs@gmail.com. And
well, it's nice to be back, Greg. Thanks for inviting me back after that unfortunate situation last week.
Yep.
But I'm back. I'm going to be in all the episodes going forward. We're not going to have a repeat of that, right?
I hope not, Ted. Yeah, Ted and I spoke for several hours last night, kind of ironed this out, and I think we came to a conclusion that works for both of us, so we're going to continue the podcast, and we're doing it for you, listeners.
Absolutely. So you might notice that I don't sound as good as I did 2 episodes ago. Unfortunately, the mic that we purchased broke. Some sort of manufacturer error. I took it back to Radio Shack, and the guy told me that it looked like someone had spilled something on it, and I asked him if that could happen anywhere in the production process, and he said no. We're out $300.
There's a reason Radio Shack's going out of business, and I think that's...
Exactly. Yeah, because they sell you stuff with juice spilled on it.
Episodes. You may have noticed that Vinay is also not with us this time. We spoke with him a couple days ago. He's actually
alive, which is good.
Yeah, he's definitely alive, and he's actually in Serbia right now. It was kind of muffled. We couldn't really hear what he was talking about, but he said something about wanting to go to Europe, and I think he's in a stadium. I'm not sure if it's soccer, ball, but
some sort of stadium with a bunch of other people. It was loud. There was like a crowd. They for some reason we couldn't really understand.
He sounded okay, and he did mention that. Well, I could hear in his voice that he wanted to be here, and I think he'll definitely be joining us in a couple episodes. So, Ted, how's the jobless life?
Great. I mean, obviously, if you heard our previous episodes, you know that I did it. I quit my job. I haven't regretted it for a single moment. I'm actually working on a couple different projects. Right now, I'm working with a life coach who I found on a Lifestyle Business Forum. He's helping me out start my own life coaching business so that I can kind of train people to delve into how to quit your job and live the life you've always dreamed. So I'm working with him. It's about 12 weeks, small payments every week. He's helping me get my thing off the ground while I'm helping him with some advice and stuff too on his business. But it's going really well, and I'm learning a lot of new skills. I really would not want to be stuck, at an office job.
Sounds like a really exciting journey, Ted. Have you heard anything from coworkers at the data center or Radley? How are they doing over there?
Yeah. Well, I had to go in just to pick up my last paycheck. Nobody there really talked to me. The phones were kind of ringing off the hook. Radley just kind of directed me to the paycheck, but, I don't owe them anything, so I walked out. Extremely.
Yeah, and the great thing about starting your own business is you really don't need those references, which I'm sure would be very negative.
Oh, yeah, extremely negative. So speaking of being stuck at an office job, Greg, how is your journey to get free of that place going?
I actually was given a promotion last week. Someone quit. What was that?
A promotion?
A promotion, yeah. He drafted my letter of resignation, and my boss Brenda came in, and she said that I had been promoted to senior shift manager.
Wow.
Yeah, Rob, the other senior shift manager, left. I was the obvious next choice, and really the only one to fill the position who had the knowledge. And I didn't get a pay raise, but I do have a lot of exciting new responsibilities.
Yeah, maybe we should have Rob come in here, because he actually quit his job, so he'd be like a good guest or something.
He actually ended up going to Europe with his family, enjoying his retirement.
So now that you've got all these responsibilities, doesn't that make it, even harder for you to quit? I mean, you said you got your resignation letter made, so it seems to me like it's just emailing Brenda.
I would have to rewrite it at this point since I'm the senior shift manager, and I have to make sure there's somebody to fill my shoes. I mean, people wouldn't know how to come and know when. They wouldn't know when to take their breaks or anything like that. So,
are you sure?
I don't think I'm in a good position to quit right now, Ted. We spoke about this last night.
Yeah, we spoke about a lot of things last night. So,
and I know when we started the podcast, we said we were both going to quit, but it really just makes sense to me that one of us keeps their job so that we can keep this thing afloat.
And I would normally totally agree with you. It's just that the podcast itself is called "We Just Quit Our Job." So far, only one of us has quit their job.
I know, Ted, we talked about that. You can't change the name after you've made the podcast. It would confuse all our listeners. So I can't quit my job right now.
Okay. Anyways, how about we just move straight into the tips and strategies section or whatever? I think you have something for us, Greg.
Yeah, it's tips and tricks. I've got a trick here. This week, the trick is coming from Tim Ferriss at 4hour.com. It's about omega krill oil. Have you ever heard of this stuff, Ted?
No, but I'm about to.
So I'm just reading this. Krill oil, logically enough, comes from krill, which are small shrimp-like crustaceans that inhabit the cold ocean areas of the world, primarily the Antarctic and North Pacific Oceans. Krill oil, like fish oil, contains a lot of. So this stuff's just really good for you. I think it's definitely worth it. I've been taking 3 a day, and
what does it taste like?
It tastes shrimpy, but it's nothing that you can't get over if you just take it with some kind of juice or soda or something.
Do you mix that into your bone broth soup from 2 weeks ago?
I haven't been doing the bone broth. Pretty difficult to find a source of bones. I haven't been able to make that, so that's kind of why I switched to the krill oil.
Got it.
Do you have a tip or trick for us this week, Ted?
Yeah, it's something like that. It's called ROWE, R-O-W-E. It's a results-only work environment, so it's actually kind of a managed strategy. So, maybe you can implement this as shift manager at Staples. It's a management strategy where instead of paying people for their time, you actually just pay them for the result. Maybe you're hiring, maybe you're outsourcing some work. Tim Ferriss recommends that you outsource kind of the daily grind work, and I've been looking into this myself. Instead of paying someone in India or Bangladesh for the time, you would actually only pay them for the emails of yours that they answer and the schedules they put together. And it motivates people, and it makes clear what you expect rather than someone just punching in and giving the minimum for their hours, fiddling around when they're supposed to be answering calls from angry customers or whatever it is the responsibilities are.
I'm not really sure how I would implement that at Staples, but it does sound interesting. Thanks, Ted.
So something to bring up is, in order to keep this podcast going, we really need sponsors, especially now that not all of us are working. We really want our listeners out there to kind of be our network and network for us. So if you know of anyone, if you have any connects at Apple, at Google, at Uber,
Squarespace,
hook us up. What was that, Greg?
Squarespace,
yeah, absolutely. That would be another great one. We really need the sponsorship money to start coming in.
Ted, actually, I forgot to mention this to you last night in our conversation. I've actually been working my uncle. He has a small plumbing business. He's a plumber and trying to get him to advertise, kind of ironing out the rates, and we need to actually record something to have as the advertisement. But my uncle's plumbing business, coming soon, hopefully our first sponsor.
Yeah, I think for branding reasons, we might want to move away from that stuff more into like the Google, Apple tech realm. Like Tesla would be a really great sponsor to have.
I'm not sure I understand, Ted.
I'm just saying that it doesn't really fit into our podcast to have someone's plumbing business advertised. That's really what we're going for.
My uncle's a pretty successful entrepreneur. He has a couple of plumbers under him. They all have great benefits. He's doing pretty well for himself. He gets to vacation a couple times a year. I don't understand what the problem with his business is.
And so that's kind of the difference. There's kind of like entrepreneurs or like small business people, and then there's like entrepreneurs who are lifestyle business people. And I guess like a lifestyle business person gets away from the 9-to-5 grind. They aren't chained to a desk. They don't have anyone over them who they're responsible to.
Plumbers don't have desks, Ted.
Yeah, well, I mean, there might be a desk at his his home office. But what I'm saying is, as a plumber, he still has to, he has a few plumbers under him that he manages, and that's kind of a time sink. He's got to be somewhere at 10 o'clock to fix their sink, or 4 o'clock to fix their toilet. And even if he's able to pay for his kids' schooling and, take a vacation, 3 to 4 times a year? Wow. If you have a lifestyle business, your vacation is 365 days a year. But, I mean, whatever. Money is money coming in. But, I'd really like to see some movement as this podcast becomes more successful, really get those big names. Tom Cook, Tim Ferriss, Elon Musk.
Well, I don't think we have anything else, Ted, unless you have something else you wanted to add.
No, I don't have anything.
Okay, so this has been episode 3 of We Just Quit Our Jobs.
We Just Quit Our Jobs.
Yeah, if you don't count the tip blast, Ted wasn't there. That was just kind of a Greg Puffman. I might spin that off into its own thing at some point, but we'll see how that's received.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense to have 2 competing podcasts for the same audience.
I mean, it would be branded differently. So this has been We Just Quit Our Jobs, episode 3. Please leave us some reviews on iTunes. We would really appreciate it. Yeah, not too many people are listening. If you could just leave a positive review, it would really give us that boost we need to keep producing this quality content for you. I'm Greg Puffman.
And I'm Ted Zepp.
And go quit your job.